Hello, everybody, and welcome to the prediction show this week with EFL legend. Is that all right, Jobs?
If
Jobi
you say so,
McAnuff.
I don't call myself that, Ben. But listen, if you're going to call me it, I'm not. I'm not going to complain.
I'm going to call you it, and we're going to get right into the predictions. If you do want to hear more from Jobi, we're going to talk a bit about his career and some TV stuff, some takes on current stuff over on Patreon afterwards. So www.patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Get over there. Jobi, we have 12 championship games to predict. The most important question is, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to take it in turns?
I think we'll take it in turns. I've got to say, when you asked me to do an actual score prediction as well, um, I think I've got more chance of pulling out the right numbers for the national lottery when it comes to championship predictions. But we'll give them a good go, and it'll be a bit of fun. So we'll
Mate,
take turns.
you've come on the right week. Last week, complete write-off, honestly. So you cannot be any worse than we had things like Sunderland 1, Stoke 5 last week. So yeah, do not worry. And we're going to start with Stoke then. I will go first on this one. This is the Friday night game, Stoke versus Blackburn. And it's probably good to get the two most confusing teams in the entire division out the way on the first game. But great win for Stoke. The problem is, every time you write Blackburn off this season, they go and win like 3 in a row. So I will play my sit on the fence card nice and early on this one, and I'll go score draw, Jobs. I'll go 2-2, entertaining one for Friday night. What do you reckon?
Again, I've done a little bit of prep for this one because I'm doing the game for Sky tomorrow.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm going to go for a Blackburn win. I think their form, they have got a bit of consistency of late. I actually saw them in their FA Cup game against Leicester. They were absolutely brilliant. And they've obviously been in good form. Stoke are just, as you say, so inconsistent. What would worry me is after the back of a real good performance, what normally follows is a not so good one. And certainly the games they have won, they've been scoring for fun. Games they haven't won, they can't score. They are just a real tough team to predict. But I do think they've got goals in them. I'm going to go Blackburn 2, Stoke 1.
Perfect. And join Joby on the TV tomorrow night. I've got date night. I'm not going to be watching Joby, but you know the deal. You've got to try and when you've got young kids, you've got to try and leverage date night at least once a month, haven't you? Right, you can go first then. Bristol City versus Blackpool.
Actually, I think this one might be a bit of a harder one to call than it was probably a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, Bristol City had been a brilliant 12-game unbeaten run, but they have struggled a little bit of late. Blackpool, on the other hand, again, brilliant result against Burnley, but they need more than draws at this stage of the season. Goals has been a problem for them. I just fancy Bristol City to get themselves going again with a really narrow, hard-fought 1-0 victory.
You have completely stolen all my thunder. I agree with everything you said there. I think Mick will try and keep the score down, but I think Bean's there. That Blackpool crowd's worth a lot at home, particularly in that game against Burnley, where they just had nothing to lose, pulled out that 0-0. I was going to go 1-0, but I'm going to refuse to match you up, so I will go 2-0 Bristol City, but I agreed with absolutely everything you said. Here we go. Birmingham versus Rotherham. I'll go first on this one. Do you know what? I'm going to back Rotherham because I keep getting them wrong. They're on a nice little run. I've predicted them to get relegated about 15 times this season and annoyed all the Rotherham fans. It looks like I'm going to be wrong about that. They're already at 40 points. We only need another 5 or 6 points to make the normal safety number. So let's back Rotherham to keep on impressing. Birmingham struggling. They're not going to score more than one, though, are they? 1-0 Rotherham.
Okay, again, I would not say you're going to be wrong with this one, but for the sake of the pod and the fact Birmingham are at home, I'm going to give them a chance for a draw here. I'm going to go 1-1, and the big reason for that is Rotherham's away form, which hasn't been great. No wins in the last 8 away, so I'm going to say 1-1 draw there.
Okay, you can go first. Oh, there you go. Nice, easy one. Here comes the home win. Burnley versus Wigan. There you go.
Yeah, listen, I think for me, there's only one winner in this game. Burnley will be back to winning ways. Obviously, Wigan, who have tightened up, particularly defensively, recently. But I just can't see anything other than a pretty comfortable Burnley win. So I'm going to go for 2-0.
I will go a bit. Do you know we had a 6-0 prediction for Burnley on the show last week? That ended 0-0. So I'll go for slightly higher. Wigan aren't going to score, are they, Jobs? 3-0 Burnley. And I'm going to move on to Coventry versus Hull. Hull had a good win, didn't they? But they didn't look much like normal Hull, did they? It was a weird game. That did you do that one, West Brom Hull?
No, I didn't. I didn't do that one at all, actually. So no,
Odd,
obviously a big win for Hull.
yeah, odd
Um,
game. I'm going to back Coventry. I think Hull might try and do more of the same though, and be a bit more hit the front, sit in than Liam Rossini was maybe at Derby. I just think we could just back Gyökeres at the moment, can't we? That worked
yeah,
for me
you have
last
to.
week. So
Yeah.
um, 1-0 Coventry.
Okay, I'll raise you on 1-0. I'm going to go for 2-0. In brilliant form. Mark Robins doing an outstanding job. Unbeaten in the last 6. 4 of those have been wins, and in all 4 of those wins, your man Gyökeres has found the back of the net. I think different dynamic though with Matty Godden back in those centre forward areas with him. I think as a pair, really, really good. Gyökeres has certainly carried that load for the large parts of this season. I just like Matty Godden back, and I just feel that the form they're in, eyeing that playoff place. I think there'll be too much. I'm going to go 2-0 for Coventry.
Right, this one stinks of 0-0. Preston versus Cardiff.
Yeah, I agree. They've been very tough to break down of late, Preston, but they haven't won many. Cardiff have had a bit of a resurgence. And again, we talk about centre forwards. Kaba, for me, has been a big signing for Cardiff. I hope that Sabri Lamucci goes with 2 up front. He didn't in the only game they've lost recently against Norwich. He went with 1 away, incidentally, as well. But I think if he really is aggressive and goes for it, then I think Cardiff can certainly get something. And yeah, Preston just not winning enough. So I'll go for a 1-1 in this one.
You got me all excited about Sabri now, and it's been so predictable to go for a 0-0. I'm going to back Cardiff then. So we go for a Cardiff clean sheet. Go on, let's go all in on one of your former clubs, Joe. Let's go 2-0 to
Oh,
Cardiff, and I'll probably eat my words. Right, QPR versus Watford. Stick your finger in the air on this one. We've got one manager who's been in for 2 games, yet
yeah.
another new Watford manager, Chris Wilder. They're expecting some kind of bounce. Frankly, I could reasonably predict any outcome for this one. I haven't got the foggiest. Normally, we go with the Watford quality. I've predicted the fresh start for QPR the last 2 weeks and been wrong. Man, 1-1.
All right, I'll go for a Watford win. I think we will have a new manager bounce that clearly Watford are very used to. I think that certainly in Chris Wilder, they've got a man who knows the Championship really, really well, and they've got the quality. They just haven't been consistent enough. I think I was sad to see Bilic go just in the back of that. They've had so many injuries to key players, and I would have liked to just see them given an opportunity with that group coming back now, João Pedro back, particularly that midfield area that was absolutely obliterated for weeks or months. And unfortunately for QPR, they just haven't had that same reaction from Gareth Ainsworth. I think his is a longer project, and I think it will take time, and I think he will get it right. He's deserved his opportunity. But I just think for them, it's about staying up this year and then using the summer to rebuild and get the type of players that will come in. But I think for this one, Watford will get the better of QPR.
I feel bad about doing this. So here we go. Reading legend, Jobi McAnuff. Reading versus Millwall with Reading not in good form. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, again, it's always hard when you're predicting against your old clubs and you always want them to do well, of course. But at the same time, I do watch a lot of football. I watched Reading the other night, and I just think they're a little bit one-dimensional. They go up to Andy Carroll a lot, and I think if there's a team that can deal with that and take that threat away, then it is definitely Millwall. Again, a team that's done incredibly well. Huge respect for Gary Rowett and the job that he's doing there. And 2 forwards in good form in Bradshaw and Fleming. So I'm going to go for, although Reading have had a good home record this season, that loss did come at home the other day. So again, I've got Millwall to win 2-0.
Yeah, I'm very close. I don't, I think Millwall will get in front fairly early and it will loosen up because I think we're all expecting a tight game. So I'll go for both teams to score, but I've got Millwall winning this one. I've got a 2-1. And this one's really hard to call. Sheffield United versus Luton. Maybe it would be even tougher if it was at Luton. Maybe it being at Bramall Lane just makes Sheffield United favourites, but Luton are good. And they're in really nice form as well. I think they might get something, actually. I think they might go behind, but I think they might get themselves a draw. Let's go 1-1 Blades Luton.
Okay, I can't see anything other than that. I've got to say, I don't want to copy you too much. I've tried to stay away from it, but that's exactly what I had down. Again, Sheffield United, massive 3 points the other night against Reading, but didn't play particularly well. All depends on Njai. If he's fit, he came off, seemed to be clutching a hip or somewhere around that region. And he's the one that just gives them that little bit of an X factor. Luton, I think it's the type of game they really fancy, going to one of the big boys in the league. They'll be incredibly well organised and, again, ticking along very, very nicely. So I think a draw I can see certainly happening. So I'll go 1-1.
Swansea versus Borough. Over to you, Jobs. One team in very, very good form and another team.
Yeah. Well, I have saved my bigger predictions for this back end of the fixture list. So, again, Swansea in really hopeless form, really, and Borough absolutely flying. I fancy Borough to blow them away. I think particularly if Swansea try and do what they normally do and try and play out and build. I think it's tailor-made for Borough with the way that they press, particularly that forward area, incredibly potent. I think Michael Carrick's got them really, really fired up. Great athleticism and pace in those areas, and I just think they're going to run all over Swansea, so I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah, it does feel like it's one of those where you're almost begging Russ Martin, look, just tweak it a little bit for
do something different. Come on, please.
Yeah, but you and I both know he's absolutely not going to do that. So I agree with you. I will go. I think it'll be quite open, won't it? Yeah, I'll go 3-1 then. Oof, not to rain on your parade. West Brom versus Huddersfield. I'll take it. West Brom, Huddersfield. They've got that bounce in one game, didn't they? And they've been badly beaten in the next two.
Yeah.
Beaten 4 in the next 2, actually, isn't it? West Brom aren't as free scoring as Coventry and Burnley, but they're still going to score a couple, aren't they? DK looks a bit better now. Yeah. 2-0 West Brom.
Okay, I had 2, but I'll raise you one. I'm going to go 3-0. Again, Huddersfield have been leaking, and I think if West Brom score early, been really, really good at home, and I fancy them to just, again, capitalise on the fragility of Huddersfield's defence at the moment. So, it could be a good day for the Baggies.
Sorry, before I get battered in the comments, Huddersfield drew 0-0, didn't they, in midweek? I had forgotten that. So 2 of their last 3 games, they lost 4, didn't they? But yeah, I think my overall point still stands. Last one, Jobs. Sky on Sunday is Norwich.
Yeah.
Look all right, actually, versus Sunderland, who look a bit slippy.
Yeah, it's I think again 2 teams in complete different ends of the form spectrum at the moment. Norwich have certainly found their way, and I think that they're going to be too strong. So I'm going for Norwich 2, Sunderland 0.
Yeah, God, we're completely going down the same alleyway every time. Sunderland have got good attackers. I think they can score, but I think it's another similar comment we made about Russ Martin. Mowbray won't shut up shop there, will he? So I'll go 3-1 Norwich. So same outcome, same difference, but a couple more goals in there. Right. So, Jobi, that is the 12 done. The scoring system, I'll give you a point if you get the right outcome, no matter the score. I'll give you a point if you get the home score, no matter the outcome. I'll give you a point if you get the away score, no matter the outcome. If you get all 3, by definition, you've got the score correct. These are the ones you need. You're going to get a bonus point, so you get all 4. Where do you fancy yourself on the leaderboard here? A couple of names I know you'll be keen to beat. Matt Holland is out in front on 20. Sam Parkin and Hugh Woozencroft just tucked in behind on 19. Surely you've got to take those two out, haven't you?
I'll be honest, if I get anywhere near Sam Parkin, who is just an absolute fountain of knowledge when it comes to the EFL, I would be delighted. Hugh, on the other hand, has surprised me a little bit, but fair play to him. I just don't want this to be the end of my EFL career and get none right. And then everyone goes, how can this
We
keeper
take the
be on
video
the
down, I
TV?
promise.
Yeah, this guy be telling us what's going on. He don't even know what the scores are going to be. So, no, it's been good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing if I get anywhere near him.
You're going to be fine, Jobs. And we are going to head on to Patreon now. So, yeah, do think about signing up over there. We might put something down YouTube as well of this interview we're about to shoot there. But do head over patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. And if you want to laugh, click up there and you'll see last week's abomination of a prediction show with myself and Gab Sutton.